Okay, guys, so I'm not there today, obviously, but that doesn't mean I can't see what's going on. So I'm wondering why some people don't have their warm-up out in front of you. If you did not remember, obviously, this is only our second full week of school. The warm-up's on the back wall where it says 8th math. So if you haven't grabbed one, make sure you grab one real quick. If you can pause the video to make sure everybody has one in front of them. If you did remember to grab one as you walked in, then go ahead and look at Monday. So the first few minutes of class, remember you start working on that. If you haven't yet, then pause, or if you have and you haven't finished, then pause what you're doing. Let's go ahead and work it together, okay? So if you're looking at Monday's lesson, guys, okay, there's 3 questions. First question, on the number line below, point X represents the square root of a number. And they want me to figure out if point X is between 6 and 7, best represents the square root of, and so they give me these. Now, what makes that really tough is, obviously you have to know what square root means, which we talked about in class last week. So what do I do? Okay, so this isn't like what we saw last week where they already put the square root symbol, right? We have to know that I have to take the square root of those numbers. That's why it's important you know the vocabulary, okay? So all we're going to do is test each one, and I'm looking for a number between 6 and 7, closer to 6 or closer to 7. Which one do you think? Well, in this case, it's actually closer to the middle. What number is exactly between 6 and 7? We talked about it a couple of times. There it is, 6.5, okay? Or if you think about 6.50, okay? So let's look at our answers. We type in the square root of 13. Remember that's second x2. We get 3.61 if we round to the hundredths place. So that is not between 6 and 7, so nope. Then we type in the square root of 37. Okay, that's 6.08. That could be a possibility, but if you just circled that and didn't check the other 2, then you might have fallen for the trick. Square root of 42. Okay, that's 6.48. So I'm going to write these down. 6.08, 6.48. Okay, and then last but not least, square root of 48, which is 6.92. So if you notice these last 3, all 3 of them are between 6 and 7, but 6.08 or $6.08 is closer to 6, so that would be over here. $6.48 is close to $6.50, and $6.92 would be closer to 7. So your answer should have been C. If you got that right, yay. Okay. Now, this is what we did on Friday. So if you weren't here Friday, make sure you pay extra close attention to the notes. The hardest part about this question is there's a bunch of negatives. Well, the first thing I need to do is change all of those to decimals. Well, if you look at the first one, what's the only thing I need to do? Who remembers from Friday? I know 48 hours is a long time. Just put a 0 on it. So that way it looks like money, $3.50. Okay, what's the quickest way right here to change this fraction to a decimal? Yep, 1 divided by 3. Okay, and then so is it 33 or 34? There it is, 33. And what do I do with that negative 3? Who said that? Yep, negative 3 goes in front. Okay, horrible handwriting, sorry. Negative pi, so negative second caret top. If you weren't here Friday, that's a new one. Second caret top is pi. Okay, it just rounds to negative 3.14. And then 3 over 8. Remember, we want to go 2 numbers, not 3, 2. So is it 37 or 38? It is 38, and we're going to put that negative in front, okay? Now, the hardest part about negatives is they work the opposite of positives, remember? So when they want the least, they don't even want me to put these in order. They want the least. Remember a number line, okay? The least means the furthest to the left. And if you remember what negatives do, the biggest negatives are furthest to the left. So look, we have negative $3.50, negative $3.33, negative $3.14, and negative $3.38. Which one of these 4 is actually the biggest negative? Which one's going to be furthest to the left? It's a bit tricky, okay? If you didn't put the 0, you might have gotten it wrong, but it's $3.50. It's the biggest negative, okay? So that one should have been your answer. Anybody 2 for 2? Maybe, okay? So let's practice some more of these. We haven't seen these since Thursday. Less than, equal to, or greater than. So if I look at these 2, I don't have to do anything to it because they're both 2 numbers. But negatives are tricky. And look, they're barely off by a penny, okay? Which one is technically the bigger negative? the 99. But since it's the bigger negative, that it means it's actually the smallest, which means this one is actually greater. I know it's very confusing. Okay, we'll get better at that as time goes by. Here, this one, 1 divided by 3. Guys, even though there's a sub there, doesn't mean anything changes. Make sure we're working. Is 33, but it's negative 0.33. Now, what's the only thing I need to do to this number? Yep, put a 0. Okay, again, negatives. This is why I put these in here, because we need more practice. Which one is technically the bigger negative? 33 or 30? 33. But biggest negative actually means the least. So this one is less than. Anybody 4 for 4? Maybe? Okay, that's up. You know it's not. I'm just kidding. Okay, this one, 11 divided by 5. It's just 2.2, but we want to put a 0 on it. Make it 2 decimals. And then this one is 0.8. But we want to put a 0 on it, okay? This is a little more obvious. Which one is technically the bigger negative? $2.20 or 80 cents? The $2.20. But remember, the bigger negative actually means the least. So we're going to go with less than. Yay? Nay? Okay? If you're not too confident, guys, we're going to practice again today. Everybody put that in your binder. It has the 3 holes, okay? Do not put your binder up. We're not done yet, okay? Open up your binder to your notes. Everybody should be looking at 1.7. Whoever that was that just put their binder up, grab it. We're not done. Whoever closed their binder, open it. 1.7. We just did 1.6 on Friday. So if you weren't here Friday, guys, then you missed out on this. Hopefully you watched the video at home. That's what helps on Google Classroom, okay? But let's recap real quick some things. The quickest way to change a fraction to a decimal is, alpha y is not a bad one, but divide, okay? What do I need to do when I see a percent? Divide by 100. Lovely. Okay. How do I get the square root? Oh, not just x2. Second x2. Good. The pi symbol's new if you weren't here Friday. To get the pi symbol, it's just the second and then the caret top. See how that little blue symbol, the blue pi symbol, you have to do second caret top. Okay. We don't technically use 3.14 anymore. And then the regular caret top is the exponent. So anything raised to the power of. Okay. And y'all, that ring a bell? Okay, Friday, we focused on putting numbers in order. We did pretty good. I mean, first day is always the roughest, so hopefully today is like a piece of cake, okay? Cake walk. I'm just kidding. Okay, we're going to put them in order. The first one is ascending. When I say ascending, which direction do you think I mean? Everybody's pointing with their hand. Yeah, we're going up, okay? But that means least to greatest, which means the biggest negative to the biggest positive. At least that's what we talked about in 8th period. So that's a cool way to remember. Least to greatest means the biggest negative to the biggest positive. Okay. Descending means greatest to least. So the opposite direction. That means greatest negative or biggest positive to biggest negative. Greatest to least. So number lines help, guys, if you need help ordering. Okay. Let's jump right in. I'm only going to do kind of 2 of each to get our feet in the water. Everybody look at number 1. What order they want me to put it in? Least to greatest. That means ascending, okay? Well, first things first. I need to change all of these to decimals. What's the quickest way to change fraction to decimal? Divide. What do I need to do after the 5? Put a 0. It's like you're reading my mind and I'm not even there. Okay, 2 second caret top. Okay, I want to go 2 decimal places. Is it 28 or 29? Everybody together. 28. Okay. Okay, what do I do when I see a percent? Some of us forgot to do that on a couple of them on Friday. Divide by 100. Okay, so it's 275. Notice, guys, I'm writing these numbers above or below the number I'm changing. Don't forget that. Okay, we haven't seen this since last week. Okay, so let me walk you through it, okay? I want to do second x2, yes, and then alpha y1, okay? And then divide, or take 36 divided by 4, or over 4, okay? So that one's a tricky one. I did second x2, and then alpha y1. If I'm going a little too fast, just ask to pause the video, okay? All right, 4.5, I want to just put a 0 on it. Now, what I love about this question, guys, is they are all positives. We can't miss them when they're positives. But if you forgot to put a 0 or you didn't go 2 numbers, then you're going to have a hard time. Okay, least to greatest. Which one is the least amount of money? $2.50, $6.28, $2.75, $3, or $4.50. Which one's the least amount of money? $2.50. So what number are we going to write, though? We don't write 250, we write the OG, 5/2. Yes? Maybe? Ringing a bell? Guys, if you're not writing anything, that's not going to help you. Make sure you're trying to keep up. I know I'm going a little faster not being there, but I can't ask you questions as we're going through this. So pause if you need it. Okay, which one's the next least amount of money? $2.75, which came from 2.75%. Okay. Then the next one, $3, which came from 36/4. Notice I'm crossing them out as I go, because then I just look at what I have left. Which one's the next least amount of money? 4.5. Okay. And then the biggest amount of money, the greatest, 2 pi. All I did was change them all to decimals. I looked at them like money, and I put them in order from least to greatest. Yes? Okay, let's go greatest to least. But I love this one because there's no negatives. Yay. Okay. Let's look at number 2. What do I do when I see a percent? Divide by 100. Okay, but look, I want to go 2 decimal places. So is it 0.03 or 0.04? Hopefully you said 0.04. What's the quickest way to change this fraction to a decimal? Divide. Okay, and then I'm going to put that 1 in front. Notice nothing is different from Friday, but if you had forgotten over the weekend, well, this is why we do 2 days. Okay, 65 or 66 for the 2 square root of 8. And again, if I'm going too fast, please ask to have the video paused. Okay, now right here, you can type it in as alpha y1, but remember, what do I do when I see a fraction? Quickest way is divide. So you do 3-second caret top, divide by 2. So both ways are correct. Okay, this is 471. What do I need to do to 2.3? Put a 0 on it. Okay, all I did was change them all to decimals. Now look at the numbers. I've got 4 cents, $1.75, $5.66, $4.71, $2.30. They want me to go, though, greatest to least. So we want the biggest positive. Which one's the biggest positive? Look at each one. There it is. $5.66, but we're going to write 2 square root of 8. Yes? Okay, which one's the next biggest amount of money? $4.71, so we're going to write 3 pi over 2. Then, which one's the next biggest amount of money? 2.3. Okay, which one's the next biggest? $1 and 3/4. And which one's the smallest amount of money? 0.0, ooh, my bad, not 0.04, 3.5%. Okay, if I lost you, all we did was change all of the numbers to decimals. We know how to do that in the calculator. And then we just put them in order, one at a time. So you have to really watch them carefully, because guess what? Here comes the negatives. Everybody look at number 4. If you're doing number 3, you're not paying attention. You try to work ahead of me, which I love, but I'm not there. So if pause on number 3, look at number 4. Okay, quickest way to change a fraction to a decimal. 3 divided by 57. 0.05 or 0.06? 0.05, but it's negative 0.05. What's the quickest way to change a percent to a decimal? Divide by 100. But it's negative 0.12. Square root of 5. 223 or 224? 224. What do I need to do when I see one number by its lonesome? Put a 0. Ooh, I haven't seen a caret top in a while. 1.2, caret top 3. Okay, but look, we want to go 2 numbers, not 3. Is it 72 or 73? 73. Okay, now take a deep breath. Let's look at the list. So we want to go in ascending order. That means lowest to highest. That means the biggest negative to the biggest positive. So everybody look carefully, okay? We need to look at our negatives first. We have negative 5 cents, negative 12 cents, and negative $2.40. Which one is the bigger negative? The negative $2.40. So negative 2.4. Okay. Still doing negatives. So look here. We have negative 0.5 cents or negative 12 cents. Which one is the next biggest negative? Well, negative 12%. And then that leaves us only with one more negative. So we just got to write it down. So if you struggle with negative still, you need to make sure to ask for help. Okay, now all we have left is positives, but we're still going from least to greatest. So I have $2.24 and $1.73. Which one is the least of those two? $1.73, so 1.2 to the third. Which one's the next least, or really the greatest? Square root of 5. So again, negatives. The biggest negative is actually the least. And then it goes to the biggest positive. Okay, let's do another negative. So look down at number 6. Oh yeah, tricked you. Not number 5, number 6. Guys, the hardest questions are the negative. So we have to practice it or you're not going to get any better. Okay. We're going to go largest to smallest. That means greatest to least. That means biggest positive to the biggest negative. Okay. So let's look at number 6. I want to divide 1 divided by 6. But yes, it's repeating. Don't worry about putting the bar anymore. Is it 16 or 17? 17. So negative 3.17. 4 second caret top divide by 3. Remember, the quickest way to change a fraction to a decimal is divide. Is this 18 or 19? 19. So negative 4.19. What do I need to do to the 3.4? Put a 0. What do I need to do? Negative 240 divided by 100. Okay, negative 2.40. And the square root of 4.5 is $2.12. Okay, that's the easy part, right? Change them all to decimals. Don't mess up there. But we're going to go from largest to smallest. That means the biggest positive. So let's just look at our positives. We have $3.40 and $2.12. Which one's the bigger one? The $3.40. So we're going to write 3.4. Well, there's only one more positive left. So we're going to go 212. So that's the square root of 4.5. Okay. Now, when I'm going from greatest to least, that means the biggest positive to the biggest negative. Okay. So that means the next number I'm looking for is actually the smaller negative. Well, look, I have 317, 419, 240. Which one of those is the smaller negative? 240. So we're going to write negative 240%. Which one's the next smaller negative? 317. So negative 316. And then, of course, least means the biggest negative. So that's where the negative 4 pi over 3. The negatives are the trickiest, but you have to use that little noggin, okay, to help us out. Everybody kind of cool. Kind of cool. Okay. We're probably going to spend another day on this when I get back, but we'll have to see, okay? Okay. Leave out your binder if you think you need it for the notes. If not, if you will pause the video to take the time to pass this assignment out. Okay, everybody's going to need a pair of scissors and glue sticks. So check underneath your desk on the supply box. If you are missing a pair of scissors or you're missing a glue stick, on the right or on the left of the room where all my supplies are, please ask to get one. Everybody should have one though, so glue stick and pair of scissors. Everybody grab it. Okay, if you need to pause the video to keep going so everybody has time. Okay. We're going to rip these pages apart, but carefully, okay? So think of this like multiple choice. This is why I like it, because it almost looks like we're taking a test without taking a test. Uh-oh, I said the T word, so we're not going to pretend it's a test, okay? You have 12 questions, front and back. Do your absolute best to try and finish today, okay? This is our second day, guys. When we spend our second day on something, we should be quicker at it, okay? I know it's going to take some time to do the cut and paste, but you should be okay. Okay. So let me show you how this works. Everybody listening? Everybody ready? First things first, numero uno. We are going to order from least to greatest. So we first need to change all of these to decimals. 4 pi divided by 7. Okay. That's, this one's tricky. Is it 79 or 80? 80. Okay. 1 divided by 5. What do I need to do after the 2? And then what do I do with the 1 that was there? Good, put it in front. 133 divided by 100, just 1.33. Make sure you have room to show your work. Square root of 1.8. Is it, 34 or 35. And then what do I need to do to this 0.3? Good, put a 0. Okay, everybody watch. You ready? We're going to put this in order from least to greatest. But all of these are positives. I love when they're positives. You ready? Which one is the least amount of money? We have $1.80, $1.20, $1.33, $1.34, and $1.30. $1.20. Okay? Now, everybody, look at your list over here. Everybody look. Oh, yeah. Before you keep working and do extra stuff, I'm trying to show you a shortcut here. Everybody look at number 1. See, these are like our multiple choice. Well, what did we say needs to go first? The $1.20, correct? Well, where did that come from? 1 1/5. Well, look at my answer choices. Which one is the only one that has 1 1/5 first? The second one. So if you will, cut out the second one. So do not cut all these pieces out at once. Otherwise, you are going to go crazy trying to put them back together. You only need to do one question at a time. Okay? Don't cut all these pieces out. I swear, it's going to be a headache if you do. We're just going to cut one piece out at a time. So everybody cut that piece out. If you need help, let us know. And you're going to just glue it where it says paste here. So put glue there and then put this on top. Okay? You want to do another one together? Now, of course, it's not going to be that easy on every single one where it's like, ooh, the first number tells me my answer. Not always, okay? Let's skip to a negative. So everybody look at number 3. I'm going to help you with a negative one. So everybody look at number 3. I know you're doing number 2. Some of you working ahead. Look at number 3. Order from greatest to least. Okay, first things first. Let's go divide. Negative 18.5 divided by 100 is negative 0.19. Negative 0.2, you should put a 0. Okay. Square root of 2, is it 41 or 42? 41. And negative square root of pi divided by 3 is negative 1.05. And then divide 7 divided by 5 is 1.40. Okay. Everybody good there? Okay. Greatest. Remember, that means the biggest positive. So I'm going to look at my answer choices while I'm doing this, okay? Biggest positive. So which one is the biggest positive? Well, we have $1.41 and $1.40. Well, just by a penny, this one is the biggest positive right here, okay? But look at my answer choices. There are 2 that start with square root of 2. So I can eliminate B and C. Think of it like multiple choice, okay? Well, what's the next biggest positive? 7 over 5. But look, both of them have 7 over 5 next. So let's see what's next. Well, now we have our negative. So everybody take a deep breath. Okay, greatest to least means we want actually the smallest negative. Okay, the smallest negative. So which one is the smaller negative? There's negative 0.19, negative 0.20, and negative $1.05. Which one's the smaller negative? Negative 0.19. So negative 18.5% should be next. And look, that's the first one. Kind of see how this works? So it's like multiple choice. Now, you can put them all in order first and then go match your answer. That's probably the best thing to do. But, you know, some kids like to look at some shortcuts here and there. So, but make sure you check all the way through the list. Don't just take the first answer that looks so pretty that you're going to do that, okay? Check each answer. And just cut out the one that you need, okay? And then you're going to glue it on there. Any questions? Obviously, I can't answer, but, okay? Do your best to finish, guys. I mean this. Make sure you're working, asking for help if you need it. But try to finish. Remember, when you're done, turn it into the tray, whatever period you're in. If you're done early and you owe some missing work, please try to get caught up. Otherwise, I mean, I'll try to give you time tomorrow in class. Please be good. I know this is my first day out, but and I hope it's my last, but you never know. Be good. Otherwise, I'll get a nice, pretty note from your sub, and then it's not going to be pretty when I get back. Got it? Good. Bye.